You won't need any props this morning, just your mat, and we'll get started in a seated position. Hands rest heavy on top of the thighs. As you ground down through the sits bones into the earth, you reach the crown of the head, finding a little more length in the spine. If it's not already, go ahead and close the mouth and breathe in and out through the nose. Allowing the body to settle around the sensations, the movement, the constant change around the breath. And noticing of what we're bringing to this practice, physically, emotionally, energetically. One more breath together. Deep breath in through the nose. Draw the breath all the way down into the belly. And out through the nose. Allow the breath to travel up from the base of the spine through the crown of the head. Inhale, lift the arms, spread them wide, allow them to float up and overhead. Exhale, draw the elbows in towards the ribs. Inhale, sweep the hands around in front and gather the hands at heart center. One more time, just like that. Inhale, take up some space, float the hands outward and upward. Exhale, draw the elbows down, lift to the heart, maybe gaze up. Inhale, draw the hands back to heart center. Exhale, this time plant the hands, walk them forward, coming into a seated forward fold. As we extend the heart forward, we breathe length down the spine, shifting the hips back, keeping our weight driving down through the sits bones. If it's available to you, you might come down onto the forearms. Keep the weight in the seat, the palms facing up, the breath easy and full. Inhale, walk the hands back up. Quick shift back of the torso so we can switch the opposite leg in front. And inhale, spread those arms wide again. Lifting them up and overhead, we find a seated twist this time to the right. Left hand comes to the right thigh, right hand directly behind the tail. Inhale, draw that length down the spine through the central column of the body. Exhale, shift the gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, unwind, reach up. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, find a little length, a little bit more space as you reach and lift to the crown of the head. Exhale, twist around the midsection and spiral that twist all the way up, gazing over the left shoulder. Inhale, unwind, arms reach up, look up. Exhale, find your way into your seated forward fold. As the breath finds its way into the torso, filling the space, allow that length, that space, that openness to drift into the upper chest as well, that space between the collarbones. One more breath here. Inhale, walk the hands back up, and we'll roll over into a tabletop position. This is just going to be a transition pose, so tuck the toes under, hug the belly up and in, drive down through the thumbs, keep the knees bent as we wrap the triceps under and shift the hips up and back into our bent knee downward facing dog. Keep driving down through the thumbs so we can shift the weight of the lower body all the way back and maybe the ears come in line with the biceps. Keep pressing the belly towards the top of the thighs. Soft through the knees, a little lightness in the heels. And then when you're ready, begin to lengthen through the legs, lifting through the hips. Keep that openness through the chest. Inhale, ripple forward into plank pose. Hugging the front body into the back body, we lift through the inner thighs and up through the heels. Broaden the collarbones forward as we gaze past the top of the mat. Exhale, bent knee, downward facing dog, shifting back. Inhale, rippling forward into your plank. This time, rocking the body a little bit further forward. And exhale, bent elbows, shading the ribs, coming all the way down. Untucking the toes, hands stay where they are. Inhale, baby cobra as we lift chest and forehead, dropping the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, press up into your plank and shift back, downward facing dog. One more time. Connecting breath with movement. We ripple forward on the inhale. Exhale, your choice, halfway down in chaturanga or all the way down. If you're in chaturanga, follow that exhale all the way back up into a push-up. The inhale, we roll over the toes into up dog or press up into cobra. And exhale, shift back, downward facing dog. One breath here. Inhale, draw the breath down the central column of the front body into the belly. And as we exhale and breathe it out from the base of the spine, traveling up to the mid-spine, upper back, and all the way out the nose. Big toes kiss together. Inhale, reach the right toes towards the ceiling. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Dropping the left knee down with an inhale. We reach the chest forward into our lunge. With an exhale, rocking lunge, moving into Ardha Hanumanasana. Half splits. As the right toes peel off the mat, we melt the heart over the right leg. Inhale, rocking forward into your lunge. And the exhale shifts the hips back into half splits, brightening up the back side of the right leg. One more time in our rocking lunge. Inhale, lift the chest, shine the heart forward. Exhale, shifting back. Inhale, planting the right foot down, keeping the left knee planted. We'll plant the left hand and reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. Gaze past the right thumb into our twisting lunge. One breath here, broadening through the collarbones. Tuck the back toes under if they're not already, and slowly lift that knee. You can shift the gaze back down towards the left fingertips. We'll turn the right toes towards the side mat and pivot onto the outside edge of the left foot into our variation on side plank. Keep lifting through that right hip. One more breath. Exhale, take the right hand, thread it underneath the left armpit. Follow the right hand with your gaze. Turning the toes to the side mat, we land in our Prasarita Padottanasana. Melt forward and down, lifting through the hips, hips in line with knees, knees in line with ankles. Head is heavy. A little reset for the breath here. Inhale fully. Exhale gently. One more breath, grounding down to the outside edges of the feet. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, find a halfway lift. We'll walk the hands towards the top of the mat into a high lunge. Gaze back, make sure that left ankle's tracking directly behind the left toes. Send the right knee over the right ankle. Pull the right heel back and down to activate through the hamstring and rise up into your crescent lunge. Keep pulling that right femur back so the left hip shifts forward, leveling off the pelvis. Slight bend in that back knee just to take any sort of tension out of the low back. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, sweep the hands down, reach the fingertips towards the back of the mat as we send the heart forward. Inhale, find a little lightness in the reach. Exhale, oppositional pull of the heart forward and fingers backward. We find stability. Last time, inhale, reach the fingertips up and overhead. Pull the low belly away from the thigh. Exhale, send the fingertips back, heart forward. Inhale, torso lands over the pelvis as the hands gather at heart center. We're going to move into a one-legged Tadasana here. So reach the heart forward again. Find that balance in that space in between the push and pull. Begin to send your awareness into the sole of the right foot. Loosen up and soften up through the right toes. So we might float the left leg forward and up, pulling the knee into the chest. Find your balance here. Flex the left toes back. Keep everything active. Hold in towards the midline. Send the left knee wide. Bring the left ankle to the top of the right thigh. And just allow the left knee to drop out and open. And this might feel like enough for you here. If you'd like to take it deeper, begin to sit the hips back, pulling the left toes back towards the shins into this one-legged chair pose. Forearms can fall down to the shin. Find your breath. Again, find this balance in the central point as we reach the heart forward and sit the hips back. 2 more breaths. Inhale, rise up, hands come to heart center. Release the ankle back into your one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, begin to send the left foot towards the back of the mat, passing through Warrior 3. And drop the left toes down into our crescent pose. Exhale, drop the hands down, send the right foot back to meet the left. Inhale, ripple forward into your plank, your vinyasa. Exhale, halfway down, maybe following the exhale all the way up through a push-up. The inhale, making your way to cobra or downward facing dog, and shifting back. Hips lift, inner thighs spiral back, outer hips broaden. Gaze forward between the thumbs, and ever so slowly wrap the elbows in and see if you can land both forearms down to the ground into dolphin pose. Clasping the hands might feel better here, wherever you can find the most stability. Keep lifting through the hips, and if this feels good to you, like a little deeper shoulder opening, you can walk the toes forward. Maybe one day hovering the hips over the shoulders, but just breathing with where you're at right now. Gaze forward, past the knuckles. Unclasp the hands, plant the palms, and see if you can press down evenly through the palms of the hands back into your downward facing dog. Woo. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Kiss the big toes together. We only have 2 sides. Inhale, lift the left toes towards the ceiling. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Drop that right knee down, send the heart forward, roll the shoulders down the back. With an exhale, we'll shift back into our half splits on this side. Left toes peel up off the mat as the right hip hovers over the right knee. Inhale, coming forward, open through the heart. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Exhale, shifting back. One more time. Inhale, getting in through the hips. Pelvis drops down and forward. Exhale, shifting back. Feeling in to the back side of the left leg. Inhale. Rock forward, plant that right hand. Sweep the left fingertips towards the sky. Twisting lunge. Breathe here as we rotate the belly button towards the inner thigh. Tuck the back toes under. If they're not already, go ahead and lift the hip. And ever so slowly moving into our Vashisthasana, rolling onto the outside edge of the right foot, turning the left toes to the side mat, and lifting through the left hip. Inhale, breathe into the front body. Exhale, curl in, sending the left hand under the right armpit. Follow with the body, pivoting the toes towards the side mat, landing in your Prasarita Padottanasana. Taking whatever variation you'd like here. Walking the hands towards underneath the body, towards the back of the room. Relaxing the crown of the head towards the earth. Settling into a natural rhythm of the breath. allowing the energy to tap down. Inhale, find a halfway lift, create some space so you can turn the body back towards the top of the mat. Moving into our crescent lunge, the left knee tracks over the ankle. With an inhale, we rise up, arms reach up and overhead. Saddling the left sits bones straight down, find some length in the side bodies. Inhale, exhale, sweep the fingertips back, send the heart forward. Inhale, reach up, pull the low belly away from the front thighs. Exhale, shift the heart forward, send the fingertips back. One more time, inhale. Torso settles directly between the legs. Exhale, find your balance. Inhale, rise up, hands come to heart center, moving into our one-legged Tadasana. Begin to shift the weight forward until we can float the right foot up and off the mat. Drawing the knee in towards the chest, flex the right toes back. We send the right knee wide and bring the ankle to the top of the thigh. This might feel good here. Let gravity do the work as the right knee falls down and open. Or if you'd like to take this deeper, sitting back into your one-legged chair pose. Hands can land wherever you can find the most ease, the most balance and stability in this posture. Find a little strength in around the core and keep breathing into that central channel of the body, squeezing everything in towards center. We find a little bit more balance. One more breath. Inhale, rise up, draw the right knee into the chest. Exhale, begin to shift through your warrior three, reaching the right toes back and softly landing them down to the mat. Dropping the hands down, sending the left foot back into our downward facing dog. So you're gonna move back into dolphin, gaze forward between the thumbs, wrap the triceps under, squeeze the forearms in towards one another, and see if you can drop both elbows down. Clasping the hands, this time we'll drop the head down, moving into headstand. Walking the toes in, keep pressing down through the forearms, so you might lift the crown of the head off the mat. And this may be you here, lifting one leg and dropping, and then lifting the other leg, finding a little bit of a balance. And if you'd like to go all the way up, and if it's in your practice, go for it. Five easy breaths. When you're ready, bring the knees into the chest. Slowly drop down into a child's pose. Sending the hands back. Allowing the shoulders just to roll down. Instead of coming onto where the third eye meets, that space between the eyebrows, you might come a little bit higher on the forehead just to find some length in the back of the neck if you had some pressure on the top of the head. I like my palms facing up so the shoulder heads can drop down and through the body towards the earth, just creating a little bit more space in the upper back. That's a lot of work for the shoulders, for the upper back and shoulder girdle. So finding a release here, everything melts down towards the earth. Tapping the energy down. The breath becomes rhythmic and full. Noticing the beat of the heart, the sensations in the body, the sweat on the skin. You might now move on to one of the yin practices that I offer, just to cool the body down, or spend a few minutes in a seated meditation. Wherever you go from here, thank you so much for showing up. Namaste.